Good evening. Welcome back to Crochet with Lulu and Friends. How is everybody doing? And are you frozen up? Please tell me how you are doing, and were you affected by this wild storm that swept through most of the southern and northern and eastern parts of the United States? Oh my goodness. I mean, we have cold weather here. We have snow, we have ice, we have all those things. But we had such a warm bout of weather for a while. And then, boom, it was like it went to nothing. I mean, we were having, I want to think last weekend before all of this started, I think there was a day we were maybe in the high 50s, and then it just dropped a little bit, and then boom, it just dropped. It was, I mean, it's been cold. We had very little snow here in town. Now the higher elevations, the mountain, I'm sure they got a lot of snow, and I think some of their roads are still icy in spots. We were so fortunate here in town. We got, I don't even know. We didn't get a whole lot of snow. We got a lot of ice. Thankfully, none of us lost power. Now, I'm not sure. I think maybe some of the mountain folk lost some power for a while, but I don't think it's anything. I've got a friend that lives in Lafayette, and his power came back on today, but then it went back off again. His neighbor called him. Him and his wife are staying with her mother in another county. And so it's been different, you know? I mean, like I said, we're used to the snow, we're used to having ice, and we're used to that. But it was just, we were so warm, and then it dropped to nothing. One morning I woke up and the inside thermostat, I think, said 8. And then one day I looked on my phone and it was, the feel like was, I think 7. And then it was going to be in the negative numbers, the feel like. I don't think ours dropped down to negative. I think the feel like temperatures was in the negative. So let me know how you were doing and what you got in your area. Did it affect anything that you do, or were you able to get in and out? My son stayed home. He stayed in, I think, Monday and maybe Tuesday. And then by Wednesday, he was able to he could get out here, but the roads that he was working on in his business, they would have been bad. But he was able to go yesterday and do that. I've been outside with them a lot. I've been down back some today. We're having a little bit of, I call it a heat wave. We got up, I think, in the 40s today. And I'm bundled up. I've got on this big sweatshirt, and I've got a shirt underneath it, long sleeve. I was so cold. But I thought I'd better catch up on some laundry today. And so I went to the basement and done a couple of loads of laundry, went to my travel trailer, got some things I needed out of there. But if you follow me on Facebook, you'll know the funny story behind my trash can. So every Monday evening, I roll the can out, or the cans out to the curb, and then they're picked up early Tuesday morning. Usually by 6:30, they're picked up. And so then I try to go out that same day and bring the cans back. So I went out Monday evening in the daylight. I thought, it's so cold and I need to go ahead and get it out while I can't get them. I was going to do both of them. And I thought, you know what? It's so cold. I think if I can just get one, I'll be okay. We'll be okay. So the can was frozen to the patio. We have a gutter that runs down the side of our porch railing, and then it goes down on that side patio. So my rollator was frozen to the concrete, and both trash cans were frozen. So I thought, okay, that's, you know, I got my rollator loose, but I couldn't budge the trash can. So I remembered my son had this tool on the porch. It's you scrape shingles off the roof. And so they put a new, they took the shingles off a few years ago, and we just left it on the porch. We used it to get up some, I use it to walk with if it's really icy out there. You know, you'll make do. You just use what you've got handy. So I remembered it was on the porch, and I thought, I'll grab it, and then ought to be able to pull the trash can loose. And wasn't thinking about the tires on the trash can, the wheels being frozen. So I go back out there, and it's after dark. It's freezing cold. The wind's blowing. I'm froze. I get out there, and my rollator, the wheels were frozen. I finally got the trash can loose, but I couldn't tilt it over well, and I couldn't roll it anyways. But we don't like to drag it, because when you drag them, it'll wear a hole in the bottom of it, and then if you've got nails or screws or anything like that in there, they'll come out. So I was trying not to drag it, but I had to drag it. By the time I got out to almost to the end of the driveway, I gave up. I was pushing my rollator and dragging the trash can. When I say pushing the rollator, I mean usually you push the rollator, right? But the wheels are turning. These wheels wouldn't turn. So I got tired. I left the rollator in the middle of the driveway, got the can out. Tuesday, I was so cold, I thought, and I haven't felt my best all week. I think it's just the winter blues. I think that's what it is. It's just the winter blues. And I thought, I'm not fooling with it. It can sit there, and if the neighbors don't like it, maybe one of them will pull it back. I'm not pulling it back today. I'm cold. So I didn't. Yesterday, I went out there. I got the can, and I thought, why is my can so heavy? Why? I just got one can out the other night. I thought, why is this can so heavy? What is wrong? So I opened the lid, and lo and behold, the trash had frozen inside the can, so only part of the trash had come out in the truck, the garbage truck. So here I was. I had worked so tirelessly and effortlessly getting that trash can out there, and then worrying about getting it back to find out there's still trash in it. So the moral to that whole conundrum is, if you leave your trash can lids open, expect your trash to be frozen. So there's no simple way to do it, because I don't want to put salt in there. I don't want to eat the bottom out of the can. So I don't know. Anyways, that's my trash can conundrum. I have one work in progress that I'm concentrating on, and then I have one finished object. I'll show you the finished object first. Christmas, a friend of mine, she has a great-granddaughter, and I had made them some book pouches earlier. I think maybe November-ish, October-ish, and some little chapstick holders for their teachers. So she asked me, and I had made her, one little great-granddaughter, a little beanie, but I made it, I made it kind of short because it was not cold during that time, and I thought she still has a few weeks she can wear this. And so she texted me sometime, I guess, in December, and she asked me, could I, out of the same yarn, could I make her a longer one with the ear flaps and the strings to tie. So I've got that finished. I messaged her today and told her that I had it finished, but I wanted to do something. Now my thinking is I may crochet a pink flower and put on here, or something. I may do something else on this because I didn't do any fancy stitching or anything. I don't know the little girl's head size. I just remembered the other beanie that I made was just a typical beanie. It just wasn't longer. So this one comes, the ear flap covers my ear, but I didn't want to make it too long here because I didn't know her proper head sizes. So I done this, and all I done was after I got it done, I got the beginning yarn and the ending yarn double stranded and chained 50. And then on the very end, I put 2 little beads. And I thought, I'm going to tell the grandmother, let her draw her some out in a permanent marker or paints. Let her decorate the beads like she wants to. And then if she doesn't like the beads, she can snip the end of this right here off and take both the beads off. It won't do anything to the beanie. But I've got that done. I wasn't sure about how to do the ear flaps because I'd never done the ear flaps before. But I'd done 4 rows of 10, and then I think I'd done 2 rows of 8 and 1 row of 6 maybe. Anyways, they're not perfect, but I mean they're both about the same size and everything. I should have watched a tutorial, but I was just I wanted to hurry and get it done so that would be at least something that I had finished for someone. I've got a couple projects I'm gonna start probably tomorrow or Saturday, but that's that finished. And then out of the Star Wars kit, I showed you Yoda that I had made last week. Was it last week? I think I finished him last week. Well, I started R2D2, and he's going to be so cute. He's little. So I'm so tickled over him. The only problem I'm running into with him is you make his arms and, well, I can't find the other one. Here we go. You make his arms, and on the inside that goes to his body, you put a safety eye, and then you stuff it, and you leave the back off the safety eye. And then you stick the safety eye in his bodies, and then it will move back and forth. So I've got both of these ready, and I can't hold it. And it looks a little loblolly because it's been in this bag. But you get the gist. The problem I'm running into, I'm gonna have my son help me, is once you put this to the body and you try to stick the back on the inside, you can't really get a grip on this to push it hard enough. I can't, to get the backs on. So I'm gonna have my son to do that before I can finish him. And then I've got, I think, 1 or 2 more, maybe 3 more little rows left. It's not much, but he's so cute. I thought he was just, I'm loving that kit. And I'm loving my tote. It's so delicious. It's so delicious. I've got my pencil and my ink pen. I had a pair of scissors. I've got some little gizmos down in there. I'm just loving it. But I'm pleased with this. I've got that done. I finished Bumble this month. If I can get, and Yoda, I finished Yoda. If I can finish R2D2, and then I finish this, I mean, that's, for me, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. But I've got to get in gear because I have people I want to make some gifts for. And then I want to be able to make enough little things like the fingerless gloves, the ear warmers, the messy bun hats, beanies, and things like that to keep here for gifts through the year. I've got a cousin that's a nurse, and she was so sweet. Right before Christmas, she had her husband, because if you know me, you know me. I'm addicted to coffee. I don't care what time of the day, night, anytime I'll drink coffee. I love it. I'm obsessed. I have a problem. I need help. But she had her husband, and he is the sweetest thing, brought me a basket, and I think there was 3 different kinds of coffee. Some was coffee beans, but that's okay because we have a Ninja blender thing in there. So we've, I had the coffee, she brought me the coffee, the basket, something else, and then an oven mitt and a couple of dishcloths. Such a beautiful gift. I had nothing made. And I was so ashamed because normally I will have beanies or things made, but I'd gotten so far behind through the Christmas crunch that I didn't do anything extra. So I've got to get in gear. I've got to get in gear. And this week I've not felt well, and I've not really been in the mood to crochet until today. And I finished that beanie, and I was so proud that I finished it. I've got to, like I said, I want to find the pink. I think it's over there in a bag on the end of the couch, and maybe do a flower or maybe a butterfly. I'm not really sure what to do for that. And then I thought maybe a white bunny rabbit, but I'm not sure. Just not sure yet. It needs to be something quick and simple because I told her, you know, it would be ready tomorrow. So anytime they're out and about, they can stop by and pick it up. But that's really all I have finished is that. And then R2's almost finished. And when he's finished, I'll hold him till the next video. I'm not really sure what I want to start next. The book has such cute characters, and I don't really know. I thought about Chewbacca, and I've got the brown. I think I'll need brown and black for him. I was hoping to find Jabba the Hutt's cute. And then, is it Boba Fett? Is that how you pronounce that? I think that's cute as it can be. So, but I'd really like to make Chewbacca. I think he's just the cutest little thing. And I know I'll need the brown. I don't have that light brown, I don't think. No, it's a darker brown. But I have the brown to do him, and then, I don't know. Oh, there's C-3PO. He's cute. Oh my word, the cutest little characters in here. So I don't really know what I want to start next, but I do want to go through the whole book and do the whole book for my son. And then I've got the Mandalorian kit. I would love to do some of those. But in the meantime, I've got to get busy and make gifts to give out. So tell me, do you keep gifts like that handy for birthdays and anniversaries and just special gifts. I've done so well last year, but this year I've not done as much as I should. So I should have had a whole lot crocheted this month, and I'm just, like I said, I've just not felt my best. I don't know if it's my age or the winter blues or what it is. You know, I've just had that week, not been sick. I've just been like, I just want to take a nap. I just want to close my eyes, and I just want to see it. So I've got to get out of that. I've got to get out of that. So tell me what you do to fight the winter blues, conundrums, if you have them. Are you weather-related anxiousness? Tell me what you're doing this winter. How are you coping with being... I'm used to being on the porch. I'm used to being outside a lot. And so I think that's one of my big things is when I'm in, I know I'm in. And then when I go out, I know it's only going to be a few minutes because I don't want their little pads to get so cold. They're just not used to it. I mean, they've been in since day one. Bigsby's eyes is so funny because he's so serious. He's so serious. But that's all I have. Please tell me what your weather is, what you've been doing. Were you affected by this wild from out of nowhere storm that went through and hit us all? What have you been working on? And tell me how you're organizing the new year. How are you charting and writing and keeping up with your things, and what are you doing? And like I said, do you keep things handy for gifts and things like that, or do you just try to make them for a particular person? I enjoy making something for a particular person, but then I like having things on hand like that also. But have a good rest of the week. We've got Friday, and then we've got the weekend. Have a good weekend. Everybody stay warm. I know it's supposed to be cold again through the weekend, and it doesn't look like the next 7, 8, 9 days for us is going to be cold, and I dread that. But that's, you know, that's all a part of life. Is, you know, we have the seasons, and we never know what season we're going to have next. We're waiting for spring, but in the meantime, we've had some fall and summer, and then blistery winter weather. So I'm ready for spring. But everybody have a wonderful, safe weekend, and join me back next time for more Crochet with Lulu and friends and all the shenanigan stuff. Bye-bye.